remember the last time that I saw my father. I remember saying I love you, and I remember taking it for granted. On December 18th, 2013, I lost the man that would have walked me down the aisle. I lost my best friend, and I lost my biggest supporter. I would have never thought that the carefree, loving man I grew up alongside with would become ill enough to take his own life. But after suffering from paranoid schizophrenia and depression for the last 12 years, that fear became a darkened reality. It was so uncharacteristic of the father that I knew, who always smiled and always told jokes, and was always the first one out fishing in the morning, to soon become a man whose once sparkling blue eyes became glazed over, a man who lost the tint to his skin, and whose lively personality slowly began to fade. Over the course of his illness, he was too strong to show his weaknesses. He denied help and eventually began denying the people around him. He lost his job, and along with that, he lost his life insurance. And so caught up in denying that he was sick, purchasing new life insurance was the last thing on his mind. My father's life became a fear of mine. I feared of losing him, and I remember the precise moment that I did. And within those few seconds, my entire world sank. My entire being was numb, my mind, my body, and my heart began to rip at the seams. But now when I think of the moment that my world collapsed upon itself, my future comes to mind. My ideals of helping and my determination come from my father. I plan to major in psychology because I feel entirely compelled to change the way society works. My father denied himself the help that he needed because of the stigma that mental illness faces from a day-to-day basis. My father lost himself in the feeling of being looked at as crazy and incapable, and he began to feel the sting of being titled as unworthy. And although the subject of mental illness is no desirable topic, I am driven to put mental illness into a brighter light. My father's suicide was no cowardly escape to a world he couldn't live in. He fought his own battles as any illness would. And I want to change the outlook on mental illness. Because this feeling of emptiness and utter helplessness regarding my father's death that I feel in myself is one I wouldn't wish upon anyone, but I know that it is still happening. If I were to receive this scholarship, I would replace the money that my father's life insurance would have covered, and I will use it to solely pursue a degree that I believe will help create a change. Because no one else can play his part, and no one else can replace the next person who chooses to take their life. And I plan to save lives in honor of the ones that have been lost.